In today's episode of Manabonded, Josh makes the nerdiest threat possible. Statistically speaking, you will lose more than you will win. Nate gives an update on his family knitting business.
Grandma finally gets to enjoy retirement. It's all right.
Zack has a slightly awkward interaction with the grocery store clerk.
Okay, I guess I'll remember this for the rest of my life.
Hello everyone and welcome to Manabonded, the Magic the Gathering advice show, becoming painfully aware of their own existence day after day. My name is Josh, I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Nate and Zack. Say hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey, welcome
What
to
is the
welcome to
meaning of life?
Manabonded.
Why am I here?
Who am I? Where do we go?
Why are we here? Just to suffer.
Just to suffer? No. We're here to play Magic the Gathering. To gather with the magic.
That actually reminded me of the meme. What's the point of living? I like pizza, and I want to eat more of
I'd
it.
like to eat more of it.
Hey man, any reason to stay alive is a good reason in my book. For us, that's playing Magic and hanging out with you guys. How you guys this week been?
It's been pretty good.
It has been also pretty good. Hot as balls.
Good.
But it is what
Yes.
it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is
I
he-
leave my house to go to the pre-release, and immediately I'm like, I'm dying.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Well, it's cooled down a little for us. We have, let me check. It's only 92 degrees right now.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
And holy cow, Thursday it actually shows 75 degrees.
Whoa.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me to go
But
to
with
Utah
a
right now.
huge low pressure system moving in, so it should be a big thunderstorm.
Oh man, that sounds fantastic.
I just hope it happens after I leave work, because I don't want to have to ride my scooter home in the rain.
Have a little
That would be
umbrella.
unfortunate.
You're like,
Just
hey.
stick a little umbrella forward and just...
You just like zip tie a umbrella to the front of your scooter and then
pray
there you go.
and pray.
Yep.
That's when you get the trash bag and you rip a hole for your face, and you just have it over the top half of your body.
You get some
Your bottom half could be
snorkeling
soaked by the time you get
goggles.
home, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Snorkeling goggles for your eyes.
Yep. I'm so sad. I had some swim goggles earlier because whenever we're at the pool with like my wife and friends and stuff, I just like to have goggles because the water irritates my eyes really bad.
You could just not
And
open
I
your eyes
found
in the
these-
water.
It's just splashing.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
Inevitably will splash. But,
Well, like typically
yeah.
that happens when you open your eyes in the water. It does hurt, yeah.
But I found this really dorky pair of swim goggles that looked like aviators, and they were
Oh,
actually
yeah.
like tinted as well. And I'm a little sad they broke, but they were so funny.
If your
That does
your
sound
wife
pretty
really
great.
loves you, she'll find you a new pair for your birthday.
Oh, she hated them. She absolutely hated them.
Love
She
is
thought they
doing
looked
things
so
that you don't
stupid.
agree with, but makes your partner happy, right?
I'm sure if I asked, she would get me another
She's
pair.
like, nope, that's it. That's my final straw. Another pair of those aviator goggles. We're done. That's my hard line.
That is a very interesting hard
She
line.
wants your eyes to burn
Yeah.
underwater. It keeps you feeling alive.
I guess, yeah.
The chlorine keeps you
All right.
young.
So this week we had a couple of interesting things. Over the weekend we had the Hobbit pre-release. I think we all
Woo.
went. So if we could just really quick go around the room and recap our how we did. We'll start with
I'd
you,
like to
Zach. How'd you do?
notably say I did not go to any Hobbit pre-releases. None of the cards really looked good enough for me to
Oh, I
want.
thought you did go.
I did not go to any. There were some interesting cards, and I would probably buy like a single or two. But as someone who knows the Hobbit story 100%, like the back of my hand, after our
Exactly.
Yeah,
our
exactly.
episode where we talked about it, I know that the Tezzeret is a really good card, and that Smog has a scale missing. So I'm basically a Hobbit fanboy now, but I didn't go to a pre-release. So
I thought you had.
So I went,
well,
3-0. 3-0 on mine.
Sure,
Nice.
yeah.
Because you win all the games you don't play, right?
That's
like
exactly
that,
how it
yeah.
works.
Yeah, Michael Scott. Don't quote me on that.
All right. Yeah. Well, what'd you do then, Nate? How'd yours go?
So, as is apt to be for basically all of them, basically every set, I went to Pro Soul's VIP gauntlet thing that they do.
Shout out Pro Soul
So that
Games.
ends up. Shout out Pro Soul Games. It's great. Shout out MTG Unraveled. Rafa was there. He came for the Friday night one at 6.
It's always cool seeing
So I got to
people
see
you
him and
don't
hang out with
expect
him.
to see in places that you frequent,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh hey,
Yeah.
didn't expect you to
Yeah.
be here.
It's pretty great. So I did the 4 sealed and the 2-headed giant, which I guess is also technically sealed, and then did the draft on Sunday, and across the board went 2-1, like clockwork this time.
Nice.
Yeah. Aside from VIP, especially if it is me, Izzy, and then another buddy from the shop, if we end up being like the top 2 or 3, there's a lot of times we're just like, do we just want to split it?
Yeah, that's fair.
Because if it's a 30 pack box and there's 3 of us, we each get 10 packs and then we can just go home.
That's pretty good.
That's a good
Do you get
point.
the box topper too?
So yeah, it was a thing where we basically had we basically like, okay, since Izzy works at the shop, she's like, we'll sweeten the deal and we'll throw in an extra box topper for you guys
Ooh,
That's nice of her.
to make it easy. So yeah, so it's a thing where Ryan and I got a box topper each. We drafted the packs and then we just went home. So we left at about 1 o'clock in the morning instead of about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's
Yeah,
always a
we
good
love to see
news.
it.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
always
but
good news indeed.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed the set. Most of the decks I ended up playing were either Golgari or
Golgari Wolves?
Gruul. Golgari Wolves, yeah. Or Gruul and just kind of like Gruul good stuff.
Okay.
Gruul beats.
I didn't end up playing any humans because my pools didn't end up supporting it. I did do dwarves for the draft, which was a lot of fun. In the draft, though, I was telling Zack earlier that pack 1, I got Keeley. And I'm like, cool, that's great. I'll draft dwarves because Keeley is 1 and a white for a 1/2 that has storied. If you have an enduring story, your first equip is free. And then whenever you have a dwarf or an equipment enter, you get to draw a card.
That
Ability
is
only triggers once per
pretty
turn.
good.
It is
It's a
pretty
very
solid.
good ability.
So pick 1, I'm like, sweet, this guy's great. I'm going to try and draft dwarves. So I'm drafting dwarves. And then pack 2, I open up Bard, King of Lake Town.
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
Nice.
It's
okay.
all coming together.
So for a white and a blue for a 3/4 with vigilance and reach and some silly text on him. If you draw a card, except for the first card you during your draw step, draw 2 instead. And then whenever you make tokens, make twice that many tokens. In the Hobbit set, for those who aren't paying too much attention to it, Zack. Just kidding.
Judas.
A lot of people didn't really pay too much attention to this set. As a Hobbit fanboy, it baffles me, but that's fine. The human thing is recruit. So they want to draw cards, and then they want to make human tokens when you discard a non-land card. So Bard is like, cool. Do you want to be real dumb and when you recruit, draw 2 cards and get to keep one of them?
Make 2 tokens.
And make 2 tokens? Yeah. So, and then
the
after
Bard
that,
is crazy good.
yeah, after I picked Bard, because it was either that or the saga that gets you Smaug when you have 4 treasures, I got past Feely, Keely's brother, and he has Enduring Story. If you have, or he has Storied, if you have Enduring Story, he lords your team. And
Yes.
then on top of that, whenever you have a non-token dwarf enter, you get another dwarf. So I was like, this is sick. I got this
That's
stuff.
crazy.
I drafted a pretty solid dwarf deck. It popped off real hard in round 1 and 3. Round 2, I played against a guy who basically got the pick of the litter for blue and was playing basically just human control.
Crazy.
And came down to game 3, and I just got a bad hand and then bad draws.
I hate that.
So, yeah,
Variance
but
is a real
it was
thing.
good. I had a lot of fun.
Good. Yeah, it sounds like it went well enough for you. Better than mine, that's
Yeah,
for
Joshua,
sure.
how did your pre-release go?
Dude, so bad. I opened a kit that felt pretty weak. I had a fair number of dwarves, and so I thought, maybe I could get a red-white dwarf thing going together. I had some of the decent, like, common pieces for that archetype. I had Dane's Company, which is a red and a white 2/2, gets lifelink if you have a dwarf. And then when it enters, you look at the top four, find a dwarf or equipment, put it into your hand, and the rest on the bottom. I only had one of those. But I was like, maybe I can make something work here. And so I built this red-white sort of dwarf aggro deck, and I played it against my first round opponent, who also had a red white dwarf aggro deck that was insanely better than mine. Just like every card I had, he had too, but he also had better support for. Like, he got Keeley, the one that makes your equip costs 0 and draws you cards. He also got an Unexpected Party, which absolutely annihilated me in every single game he played it in. It would get to the point where we'd hit this nice little board stall, and I was like, maybe I can crash through, right? Maybe I can push through. And he'd do the adventure side of an Unexpected Party, which is X2 and a white, create X2/2 dwarves.
That's pretty good.
And then the normal side is 2/2 white for an enchantment that says, as this enchantment enters, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +2/+2. It literally just closed out every game we were in. He just kept slamming it on the board. There was nothing I could do. Just
it literally
nothing
says,
I could do.
Get wrecked as a card.
So my first round, my red-white deck got crushed so hard, and I looked at the list and I'm like, this is going to go nowhere. So I tore it apart, and I rebuilt with the rest of my pool a green-black deck instead. That I felt was a bit more mid-rangey, had a bit more value in it. I'm like, maybe I have a chance to do something here. And then my round 2, I went against a guy who had just a better green-black deck than me. I'm like, not even kidding. This dude had Tom Burton William, the 5-mana 5/5, pay 1, sack a creature, draw equal to the sacrifice creature's power, then discard a card. He got that OP. Every game. I almost milled him out a few times because he was just drawing so many cards. He also had Part in Friendship. That's whenever a non-token creature you control dies, reveal until you reveal a creature card. If that card costs less than your lands, put it into the field. Otherwise, put it in your hand. In Limited, it says when you kill a creature, they replace it. And so I had nothing I could do. He was like, every turn, he would sacrifice a creature to Tom Burton William, draw cards, discard a card, and then get a creature out for free. So he was constantly filling up on resources. There was just nothing I could do. I just thought it was ridiculous that I built this red-white deck that I thought was good, got crushed by the perfect red-white deck. Built a green-black deck I thought was good, got crushed by another perfect green-black deck. So I go into round 3, and I'm like, I'm just going to leave my deck as is. We'll try it out. And I ended up going against a fairly new player who had not played much, but he was like, yeah, I came here because my friend said it's fun. I don't know what I'm doing super well, so like, I apologize in advance. And I'm like, no, I love playing against new players because like I want you guys to stick around. I want new players to keep playing and enjoying. So any questions you have, I was a judge for a couple years, let me know. I'm more than happy to help. And I promise, I'm not helping just so I can beat you, right? And he said, oh, I really appreciate it. We played, and I did end up beating him. He had built kind of an okay red-black sacrifice deck, but too much sacrifice, not enough sacrifice fodder, I think was the issue there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, I went 1 and 2, so not a great result, but it was fun for me. And then I did get the 5-mana enchantment, Fateful Discovery, I think. That is 3 and 2 blue whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. It's not non-token, and it's not once a turn. It's just 5 mana to like, oh, I'm going to put a clue, food, and a treasure into play. I'm also drawing 3 cards.
Yeah, it's silly card.
It's a very gross card. I don't know if I ever talked about this. I did throw together a mono blue Urza list because I just like mono blue artifact stuff, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it with Urza. And so I'm probably going to put it in that because
that makes sense.
There's that, or I'll rebuild my Lonus Cryptozoologist deck and put it in there.
That would also be very gross.
I think the Joyra that cares about ingenuity counters. It's like tap, put 2 counters, and put an artifact on the field for free. That could be pretty good in there because it just cares about entering, right, not casting.
It does.
The entire text of the card is, whenever an artifact you control enters, draw a card.
So, I mean,
that's it.
this
There's
is
no
pretty good.
restrictions.
This set is so wild with cards that are like, this dude does a thing that Wizards hasn't done recently. So when I actually opened Keeley for the draft and I looked at him and I saw the once per turn, I was very disappointed because I'm like, oh,
Like everything else is
this is
not
like
once
one of
per
the
turn.
only cards in the set that does
The only
that.
one that's
Yeah.
balanced. You got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess Elrond is also once per turn for his draw, but the fact that it doesn't say non-mana ability
Yeah.
like far surpasses that. That one's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Also, fun tech while I'm ranting about random cards. The Eagles are coming. When I read it,
Very cool.
I was like, this card is going to be so much fun to randomly blow out theft decks because it is instant for 1 and a white that you can kick for 2 and double white. If you normally cast it, you choose target creature you own. If this spell was kicked, instead choose any number of target creatures you own. Return those creatures' cards to your hand.
Oh, wow.
And then you get a bunch of eagles at the beginning of next turn. But the fact that you can be like, oh, you spend all these resources to steal my creatures? Thanks. They're back to me now.
Yeah, thanks
And
for
not only that,
Appreciate
I'm
it.
going to get a bunch of 4/4 flyers at the start of my turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
I was like,
very
that's
interesting
great.
card.
I'm going to probably use it more to dodge board wipes, but
Oh, yeah.
occasionally run against the theft deck, I can be like, thanks, I get my stuff back.
It's a lot like a card that I know you used to like, Paradoxical Outcome, which is
Yes.
3 in a blue for an instant. Return any number of non-land permanents you control to your hand, and then draw a
And then
card
draw a
for
card.
each one.
Yeah.
It's the same, but instead of drawing a card, you get a 4/4 flyer for every single one you return.
Yeah, yeah. The nice thing about Paradoxical Outcome also is that is any non-land, non-token permanent.
Yeah.
Or I think you can actually return tokens with it, but you don't get a draw.
Eagles Are Coming does not specify that it has to not be a token. So if you've made about 40 or 50 1/1 white humans, cast this on somebody's end step, and then at the beginning of the next upkeep, turn them all into 4/4 flyers, which end games a lot faster than 1/1s. Anyway, Hobbit was fun. I am excited to get my hands on a couple more cards. I certainly would like a copy of Gleaming Splendor. I would like a copy of the King of Dale and the Queen of Dale. So
Yes.
we'll see how that goes as far as my acquisition of them goes.
I need to get my hands on a Queen of Dale. I have not got her yet.
She looks very good. In other news, we did have a banned and restricted update as well. So I could read you the full article, but I will just give you the highlights I know you want. There are bans in Standard, Legacy, and Vintage. In Standard, we have banned Gran, Storm Chaser's Talent, and Badger Mole Cub. In Legacy and Vintage, they banned and restricted the Fantasticar, which is from the Marvel set. We won't talk about that because Legacy and Vintage are dumpster fires I do not brave. I'm sure they're healthy, wonderful formats for the people who play them. I am not brave enough to risk that yet. But Badger Mole Cub, Storm Chaser's Talent, and Gran all getting the ban hammer. Pretty crazy.
I think it's a huge mix-up for Standard, because
Absolutely.
Very
Is
much.
it was very good, and Badger
yeah,
Mole
yes,
Cub
it was
also
insanely
very
good.
I think they talked about it in the article, but the two decks in Standard that were basically perpetually on since Avatar have been Badger Mole Cub
Lessons.
based green strategies and Is It based lessons and or prowess strategies, right?
Yeah.
Those two decks have basically been mainstays in Standard since they came out. And for a while, they justified it saying, well, there are other decks, and Badger Mole Cub is constantly shifting and evolving in what it's doing, so we're not really feeling like it needs to be banned yet. Same with, like, Storm Chaser's Talent. It's a piece in a lot of shells, but isn't quite, ban-worthy yet.
Yeah.
And then things just kept evolving, kept changing, and they went back and they looked at it, and they said, actually, I think it is probably about time
Maybe these are pretty good.
that we get rid of a couple of these. So Badger Mole Cub, which a lot of people have been asking to be banned, is gone. Quickly, for anyone who doesn't know what it does, Badger Mole Cub is from the Avatar set. It is a 1 and a green for a 2/2 creature, Badger Mole. When this creature enters, Earthbend 1. So you turn a land into a 0/0 creature with haste. put a 1/1 counter on it, and then when that land dies or is exiled, it comes back to the field tapped. And then whenever it has an additional line of text that says whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. It seems strong when you read it, and then the more you play with it, you realize it's actually way stronger than you thought.
It's better than I ever thought it would be.
Because it earthbends a land on entering, it turns one of your lands into tapping for 2 mana, which on turn 2 is very good. When it says you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green, that means all those Llanowar elves that are illegal in the format, all the other mana dorks, like Gene Pollinator that are legal in the format, they tap for 2. So this was just such a powerful accelerant in any deck that had green that it could just power through and create a ton of crazy strategies. I believe in the article, they said, the story told by our data from Magic Arena is clear. This latest build of the Badger Mole Cub deck, Selesnya Offense, has the highest win rate by a large margin, winning over 57% of its matches. It also has the second highest play rate. So win rates, generally, they like to be around the 51 to 48%, showing that there is, it can win, but it has counterplay. Yeah. 57% is insane over such a large margin. They say normally win rates fall as play rates climb. Decks that can maintain high win rates while also having high play rates are large threats to the balance of formats. And then they mentioned the overall profile of the Selesnya Offense deck in our data is very similar to what VV and Agatha's Soul Cauldron data looked like at the time that we banned VV. So it was basically putting up the same results as VV did when it was banned. So they decided, you know what? We've got some standard qualifier tournament seasons coming up. Let's just axe it now. And people can figure out what to do next later.
It will be interesting.
Yeah.
Because my extent of playing standard is building a deck and then playing with buddies on Fridays randomly and then going to store championships when those come around.
I had a Is It Lessons deck on Arena that was okay. It wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination, but it did well. I figured out that Badger Mole Cub was banned because I got an email from Cardsphere around 9:30, which is about a half an hour after the article went up, where Cardsphere basically said, hey, you've got this card in your wish list. We are suspending all trades for the next 7 days to give the price time to settle.
That's crazy.
And I was like, and I got the email and I was like, oh, that means Badger Mole got the axe. And I was so excited because I hated going up against Badger Mole decks with my Is It decks. And then I read further and they're like, no, we also took away your Storm Chaser's talent and Grand.
Grandma got the hook. Yeah.
And honestly, it's fair.
Grandma finally gets to enjoy retirement. It's all right.
Yeah, I get it. I really do.
There's the little meme.
Gran is
There's a little
so
meme
nuts.
of like the guy who's like, oh, this is like literal god card of like the god of destruction or something like that. And it's like, and then like a super, like a raccoon or something as the next card. And it's like, okay, this is the strongest card you've ever played. It's like, it's like, what do you mean? The god of destruction is worse than grandma?
This little old grandma, or this adorable little otter.
It's like, oh that's the most broken card in this game. Oh, okay.
I was talking with my buddy about Storm Chaser's talent in particular, and I'm like, every time I've played it, almost every game, it is basically just I get a 1/1 prowess guy for 1, and maybe I get an instant or sorcery back later. Yeah. And then my buddy brought up, well, if you get into a stalemate, you just start flinging out otters once you get to level 3.
That is true.
And then it gums up the board even worse.
It is a very strong card at all points of the game. So Storm Chaser's talent is a class enchantment, so it's an enchantment that can sort of level up. At its base, all it does is that when it enters, gives you a 1/1 with prowess. At level 2, for 4 mana, you can return 1 instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. Again, good at breaking sort of these awkward stalemates. And then at level 3, for 6 mana, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, make a blue and red otter with prowess. So it combined with Boomerang Basics, a 1 blue mana sorcery lesson that says return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. That would be really good because then you could just pay a blue mana to reset your Storm Chaser's talent and get another otter with prowess. But Boomerang Basics also says if you controlled that permanent, draw a card. So not only does it benefit you just to bounce your talent, it's giving you more
Or
benefit
otters.
every time you do. Yeah, you get more otters cards. It's a crazy good sort of
Yeah.
1-2 punch in blue that can be out as early as turn 2. At that point in the game, there's almost no people who have built up enough to stop that. So
Yeah, it's also the same kind of thing that I was doing with the Esper self bounce deck, where I play this town, and since I'm targeting the Storm Chaser's talent, it costs 3 less. So I'm bouncing Storm Chaser talent and your
And
most
something you
expensive card
control.
back to your hand, and then I'm like, cool, now I got to play Storm Chaser talent and get another otter.
yeah, the article mentions that they have learned from this particular standard environment they've created. They said, we have greatly increased our level of scrutiny on 1 and 2 mana cards that demand an answer to prevent early snowball starts. Similarly, we put a lot of thought and energy into what we want the speed of standard to be and how we can design cards to make that a reality. These adjustments have been in the works for a while, and we will soon start to see sets release where those learnings are incorporated.
Well,
So,
that's good.
Because they didn't
hopefully
learn
the future
from,
standard
from
slows
Oko back in the day. So, they
Yeah.
haven't learned
You
in
would
the
have
previous
thought.
multiple years of existence.
You would have thought
You
that
would
they
think,
would have learned.
Here we are. Power creep.
My thing with it is I feel like Badgermole Cub slipped through the cracks in particularly, and then also to a lesser extent Gran and Storm Chaser's talent, because in their set, which is probably what they play test, I don't think they play test for standard or modern as much as they used to. I've heard rumors that they don't at all anymore. I don't know how I'm going to take that.
I'd imagine they still do, but I'm certain that there's a lot less playtesting that happens because of just how large standard has become.
Right. And so with that, none of those cards are broken inside their own set.
Yeah.
They're good.
Like they feel
and they can be
good.
a signposts. Yeah, they can be a signpost card for a strategy when you're doing a draft, which is what a lot of people are doing in there. But they're not going to bust an Avatar sealed or a Bloomburrow sealed. It's going to be a solid card for you, but it's not going to be broken. And same with VV for, if we want to go back further, same with VV for Final Fantasy. Like, you're probably not actually going to get a ton of value off of VV in that sealed event.
We'll see how things go. I hope this helps Standard, because I do think Standard is a much better entry point than Commander is.
Absolutely.
So
overall, I think these are good bands.
This
I think these are very good bands. They were needed.
Yes, I don't think anybody's upset about
Honestly, I would argue the tablet from Secrets of Strixhaven could also be banned, and it would still be fine.
I don't know which card.
Tablet of Discovery,
something like that.
Yeah, I see that in a couple lists here, but I don't know. I don't know enough about that to give too much of thought on. Anyway, we are an advice show. We do answer questions. We do give people some advice that may or may not be helpful to them. So why don't we try that? Try our hands at that. First time for everything.
Yeah, first time for everything. We haven't gotten banned yet.
Right?
All right, we'll just start right up at the top of our little list of questions here. First off, I went ahead and put some feelers out, checked with some people on the various Discords I'm in, and I got this question in from Mormonator on the Utah cEDH subreddit. He wants to know, how do you encourage people who are on a bad streak of losses? We'll start there. Zach, you're a very positive and uplifting person. What do you do to try to...
Loser. No,
okay, wow, yeah, no, all right.
Get good, scrub.
And end the podcast. There we go. Yeah, I mean, you could just tell them to get good. But seriously, like, if you have a player in your, like, commander group or your cEDH group who's just, you can tell that they're getting frustrated, that they haven't won in a while, like, what do you do?
This is a tough one, because, I mean, everybody's been on losing streaks. They're not fun. It sucks losing all the time. But then, on the other half, when you do get that win, it feels so much better. Like, it's like, oh, finally, I was due for this, and it's like I feel good about that.
I earned this.
And I mean, when you're playing, since this was the cEDH subreddit, when you're playing cEDH, you automatically have the odds against you because it's a 4-player game. So
yeah,
most of the time you're
harder.
going to be losing anyways. You need to get good at losing, and then
get good at losing. I love that.
Yeah, get good at losing. Know how to lose gracefully. And then focus on yourself more than other people. You can control your actions. You cannot control other people's actions. You can politic and influence, but ultimately it is still their game. They're playing their deck. they can do their decisions that they want to make. And so
Right.
what can I do better as a player to become a better player, to win more? What am I doing wrong? Do I need a mulligan more? Do I need a politic more? Am I not talking enough? Am I not playing to my window for my deck? Like, when am I pushing too early? Am I pushing too late? Like, kind of thinking that and like self-reflecting, I think is the best way to get better. And then just go over games of like, maybe I should have held up mana for that turn instead of playing up my mana rock or whatever. Like, thinking about how you can be better so you don't lose as much.
I like that. Kind of building off of yours, I feel like it's been a pretty good and relatively natural build-up in specifically the group of people that we regularly have go to Phoenix Fire, talking about games and talking about like, oh, this, you could have done this differently, or, you know, just talking with people about how they could have gone through their game differently, the different game plans.
Kind of like a post-game discussion.
Yeah. And that's kind of the good way of looking at it. Is like, you have the post-game discussion and you go, okay, how could I have done better? And then trying to use that next time you play. Because if you keep doing it and you keep realizing how ways you could have improved, ways you could have played a little bit better, where you could push a little bit stronger, where you could hold off a little bit more, eventually you'll get to a point where you are going to start winning games.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always games where like fate is just going to be against you.
Yeah.
For one reason or another. Variance is a real thing in Magic, and sometimes you just mulligan to 3 and you're like, I'm here playing for a little bit and then I'm gonna go cry in the bathroom. But like, some of those times, like, those games happen. A long time. And those are games you just try not to lose the best you can, but it is what it is.
I think it's important to remember too that you may be on a bit of a losing streak, but there's always another game.
That's a good one.
Like, I think most of us have had a point where we have walked away from the game and said, or wanted to walk away from the game and just frustrated and angry. Like when I was younger, right? When I was a kid, I definitely had a couple, Friday Night Magics with friends where I walked away just, didn't win a single game, felt like I didn't do anything cool, ended up giving up halfway through the night and just playing Halo with the rest of the guys, right? Just like, just so frustrated at the fact that I just felt like I was so bad at Magic. And I just didn't want to play anymore because I was so bad. I think just remember that there are more games. And, what Zack said about cEDH is true for normal, casual EDH. Really analyze your deck, your play patterns, your games, figure out what is going on. Because a bad run of maybe a week or two where you just can't seem to get a game to go your way, that could just be luck. But if you're going, 7-8 months of just cannot win a game, and you're looking at some stats and realizing, oh, I haven't actually won a game since January, that might be something where you need to take a look at your decks and rip them apart and say, what am I doing wrong? Maybe I screwed up my mana curve. Maybe I removed all my removal. Maybe I actually don't have a win condition in any of my decks, Be, thorough, figure out what needs to improve and change, and figure it out, and just keep playing, Yeah.
I mean, losing's part of the game, winning's part of the game. And it's going to happen to you every so often. It's going to happen to you every so often for the other side as well.
Statistically speaking, you will lose more than you will win.
Yes.
This is a 4-player format, Commander, and so you will lose in a perfect statistical world. You will lose 75% of the time.
Yeah.
That is tough. Every other sport, activity, whatever, perfect statistical analysis puts you at a 50% win and loss rate. We don't do that here. Yeah. You get 75% of the games that you play are going to be losses. So it's important that you, like Zack said, learn how to lose gracefully and learn from all of them.
I think what you also could do is take a step back from Commander and play another format. Like, get a feel for Standard, from other formats. Play some Jumpstart, focus on something else for a little while. It's okay to take a step back from the format you've enjoyed and played for a little bit, or been playing for a long time, just so you can kind of get something new, and then you maybe get a win streak in Standard, and you like win an RCQ or something. Who knows? Maybe all your luck was meant to go there.
And playing other formats, whether you do pre-releases like we just did this last weekend, or Standard, or Jumpstart, or drafts, you will pick up other things from doing that you can translate over to Commander to make yourself better at Commander. You can learn a little bit more about pushing, a little bit more about mulliganing, a little bit more about when to keep a hand that might be a little risky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also think, like, mold your deck to your meta. Like, if you're playing a deck and you're against a lot of Kinnan players or Winota players, like, can I throw a Grafdigger's Cage into my deck? Is that going to hurt me a whole lot? But that was going to hose my opponents, and that's going to help me win more. If you know the decks that you're going to consistently see, like, make your deck better against those.
Yeah.
Mormonator had a second part to his question, and he wanted to know, because he kind of moderates a lot of the Utah cEDH community, he asks, what does it mean to each of us to be the reason people stay in this format? Specifically cEDH. Like, what does it mean to you to bring new people in and help them stay?
I love this question. I love it so much. Because, like, community is made up by the people of the community. And so when you have a good community with good people, people are going to want to join that. And I think one of the things I think, like, cEDH players specifically could be better about is reaching out to new players. Like, if someone's new to the shop or something, like, just talk to them. Just go and talk to them. If you don't recognize someone, go and talk to them. Like, as if I'm coming to a new shop and I don't know anyone, it's kind of nerve-wracking. Like, it's a little rough. And so, like, having someone just come up and be like, hey, what do you like to play? Like, what's your deck that you're obsessed over right now? And, like, what do you enjoy playing? And just, like, building that connection to people, it's not easy, but it is a great way to kind of build community and make people feel important, which is a huge part of keeping people coming. And then once you kind of get to know them, you can kind of push, like, oh, have you ever played cEDH before? Would you have any interest in trying it? And then that's how we build more cEDH players.
Also, you can piggyback off of that. It's like, hey, they're like, oh, I don't have a deck. It's like, that's cool. I've got a couple decks. You want to give one a try? Like, this is, if you know them and you've got to get to know them a little bit, you're like, hey, I noticed you like big stompy decks. You might like Kinnan. Kinnan's got some control magic, but then it's got a really big top end group of creatures that you can win the game with. And then you can kind of get in on that. And then also, depending on the shop you're playing on and when you're playing, you'd be like, hey, it's also proxy friendly. If you want to proxy up a deck, I'm here all the time. I'm willing to play against a proxy deck, because that's what cEDH is kind of all about, is beating the player, not the wallet.
Yeah.
And then show up with whatever deck hits your fancy. And then you can hopefully get them into the game that way too.
And then be patient and understanding with them learning a new format. Because cEDH is a lot different than regular EDH. So they might be familiar with Commander, but they're not familiar with cEDH, which is a whole different ballgame. Just be patient, explain things, and walk them through it, and then make sure they have a good time. Like, that's what we're here to do, ultimately, with playing Magic. So we're here to have a fun time playing the game.
Yes.
Yeah. I had a couple interactions recently where I was explaining to people kind of what cEDH is and why it's not what they think it is. I think the cEDH community has done a great job in removing a lot of the misconceptions about the game and about the format to people. It's the stigma, especially, right? That people who show up and don't respect the rule zero conversation and stomp the table, those aren't cEDH players. A good cEDH player doesn't want to play his, tuned Kinnan list against a couple precons and then some dude's homebrew Aragorn list. He doesn't want to do that. A good cEDH player wants to play their tuned cEDH decks against other tuned cEDH decks. These are people who basically live by iron sharpens iron. They want to go up against other people who want to make them better. And I had multiple opportunities in the last couple of weeks where I kind of talked to people about cEDH, and they're like, man, I hate cEDH. It's just a bunch of people who like to pub stomp. And I said, that's really not true. That's just a bad person who wanted to stomp your table. They're not a cEDH player. And they're like, oh, yeah, they were using this really, really strong, I don't know.
Hagrid.
Yeah, they're using Turgrid and all these other gross things, and I'm like, that's not cEDH, dude. You can't play Turgrid in cEDH. There's not enough permanents to steal.
You just got bracket forward.
And so,
That's all.
Yeah, you got bracket forward is what happened. But I also had a great opportunity to kind of explain, like, hey, this is why I love cEDH. I love it because the number one problem Commander has is the Rule 0 power discussion. cEDH has solved that by saying we are just going to play at our highest possible power. That's it. If you say I want to play cEDH, any further discussion of, well, my deck isn't exactly a tier 1, so maybe we only play like tier 2 cEDH decks. That's not how this works. If you say you're playing cEDH, you're playing cEDH. And I've gotten reactions from people who say, oh, that actually doesn't sound so bad. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. And I've explained to them, like, yeah, you can take cEDH any number of ways. They're like, well, you can't really innovate in deck build. And I said, that's not true. You absolutely can. There are people every day who are taking defined lists and changing it up. Even Blue Farm has, like, multiple sort of subcategories of ways that you can play it, and people who are innovating from there, right? You can do so many different things in cEDH. Do you want to play Turbo? Do you want to play Storm? Do you want to play creature combos? Do you want to play Control? Do you just want to outvalue the table? All of these are just great options you can do. You can still do aggro in cEDH. Winota still works.
Yes.
Yep. So I think I want to be the kind of player that when people have an experience with me at the game table, every time they see me in the future, they can look and say, I feel comfortable playing with him. He is a safe person to play with.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
whether it's cEDH, casual, anything. It's like, I want to be somebody where, like, in a room full of strangers, somebody can look at me and say, I played a pre-release with him. I did a cEDH tournament with him. I trust him. I want to play with him again.
He has good intentions.
That's who I want to be.
Lie to me or like make things bad.
Exactly. That's the kind of person I want to be, and I want to make other cEDH players become that, so that we have an open and welcoming format and community. Because I truly think it's just so fun. There is truly nothing like it. A 4-player competitive format, as politically convoluted as it becomes, is so fun. It's
slot
truly
meta,
so fun.
It's still a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean,
you know how you beat slot meta is you do a bunch of activated creature abilities that nobody can respond to.
That is true.
Tyam says suck it.
You can potentially do that. I mean, this also goes back to like you were saying with building the community. It will be a long time before I forget the last game of the big cEDH tournament that we went to, and Zack and I were in a pod with these 2 other random people, and we just ended up going, all right, we're cranking it, like we're having a blast, we're having fun. Literally the other 2 guys in the pod were like, dude, this is the most fun I've had all day. Yeah, it was because we were interacting, we were doing stuff, we were, we
were still playing to win. It was we were having a good time while doing it. We're making jokes and talking and being a little bit less serious on like the politicking, but we still politicked, we still talked. Yeah. It was just adding that little spin of enjoyment with it.
Yeah. And part of that could have been the fact that all of us at that point had realized we're not getting anywhere. We're playing this last game mostly for fun. But still, it was so much fun to go in and just be like, hey, we're having a good time. We're doing stuff.
Magic at its roots.
Magic at its roots.
Yeah.
And that's also another reason why I like our little interview things. They feel very community buildy because you got a lot of random people that you're talking to and getting their opinions on like what they're playing, and then also just funny, weird questions.
It's actually pretty easy to make people feel special. Like,
yes,
when you think about it, like genuinely, we're so individualistic, and like it's so easy to just like anytime you see someone, like just be excited about seeing them. Like genuine, you should be like, oh hey, like it's awesome that I get to see you here, and it makes them feel good because it's like, oh, you remembered me. Like, why did you remember me? Like I'm nobody, I'm me. But like making people feel special is a great way to kind of build community and like make people feel welcome.
And I guess we have talked a lot about cEDH in particular, but that is really key to Commander as a whole. Is if you make people feel special and you show interest in them and their decks and what they're doing, they're more likely going to want to come back. And when they come back, there's a chance they're going to bring their friends, their significant others. We're going to keep getting a bigger and bigger community with more and more people, and then we could have more and more fun.
And Josh, you can bleep this,
Absolutely.
but we're all fucking nerds. Like, we want to talk about the nerd stuff that
For real.
we enjoy.
Dude, absolutely.
It's like there's moments where I'm like, I just want to talk about Magic to someone, and if you talk to me about Magic, you're gonna be my best friend. Like,
Yeah, oh, it's
absolutely.
we have this
opens so
common
many
ground
doors.
already, and it's so easy to just build a conversation off of that with someone you don't even
Yeah.
know. It's like, what deck are you hyper fixated on right now? What do you love about it? What's a card that you wish you had that you could put in it? Maybe I have that card. We should trade. Like, it's just
Right.
an easy segue
Exactly.
of common ground to build a community, to make someone feel welcome. Especially if you're a regular at a store and you see someone you don't know, just like go up and talk to them. Like, it's okay to be that person.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable
Not to
with
be
it.
too sappy, but like the point of us naming the podcast Manabonded was just to kind of showcase how this game brings people together and has kept us together, you know?
Yeah.
It was to talk about how Magic is a community first, and we all want to keep playing this dumb cardboard hallucination game, and we all want to have fun while doing it. So let's just keep doing that.
Do you struggle to keep your garden green and alive? Wish there was a way to turn your barren fields into a lush forest? Want those beautiful, fresh fruits and vegetables with none of the hassle of gardening? Then call your local 3 Visits gardening service. At 3 Visits Gardening, we work with you to make your garden explosive with vegetation. With our time-tested method, we can get your garden not just steady growth, but rampant growth. If you're tired of seeking far and wide for a gardening service that you can trust, just call us, and we'll have you eating ripe red tomatoes and juicy strawberries. In just 1, 2, 3 visits.
And on that note, we're going to move to our next question, which is, what do we do when we have a community we don't like?
Womp womp.
So, this one is from the r/MTG subreddit. I will actually keep this one a little anonymous, I think, because of I don't want anyone to figure out where that they might be involved on the other end of this story, or think
So we're
that they know
not going
where
to say
this
the
is at.
username?
We're not going to. No, we're not. I'm
No
What
username
about,
this time.
just the first part? Can I just say the first part?
Anonymous.
vague enough.
Risk
All right.
from MTG.
So this user in the MTG subreddit posted, I recently moved cities, and the only LGS to play at seriously smells horrendous. Is this the only option, seriously, just not to play?
Oh no, he's at my LGS right now.
Hi,
I'm just kidding.
Hey
he
now, hey
said,
now.
Hi everyone. As the title in the post mentions, I have recently moved, and naturally I wanted to check out the various card shops around the city. Due to it being a smaller town, I assume it's the reason there's only one store that supports this game. It's a smaller town, which is why there's one store. Yep, okay. I checked out the store a few days before playing to see what it was like, and I didn't notice any sort of issue in regards to smell. It was during the first day of playing where I could smell whatever the horrible BO or dry poop or whatever was going on. It was radiating off the other people playing, essentially. I thought to myself that it was maybe a one-time thing, as I've definitely experienced partaking in events that smelled before in my hometown, and would try again the following week. Of course, the exact same thing happened where the smell was permeating the whole play area. Even though I'm basically new to this store's community, I went up to one of the employees at the main desk and they told me, oh, I don't smell anything. It never really smells here, which obviously makes me not believe them. So, is there really anything I can do about this? As this is a new city, I don't really have other friends that would play like it at home, and I would really like to play physically. All help is welcome. Thanks.
Ouch.
Well, Anonymous, this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was ready for some
this
other
is
advice
bad.
for a community, but a shop that doesn't care about the funk? Ooh.
Anonymous person, you are a little flower bulb. You must be watered and grow into the floral beauty that you are. Be the smell you want to smell. I don't know. Like maybe like get some like a perfume or cologne that you enjoy and put it on yourself. That's what you're mostly smelling. Have a nose plug or something.
No, this can go. I think
No,
my
no, no,
advice
no, no,
stems
no,
from
no, no, no,
what?
no. Wait.
What?
You could play the new Skunk Commander, and it is 1,000% on theme.
It is 1,000% on theme for your LGS.
You're like, guys,
no.
guys, we gotta fix this. I'm putting
you
smell
just-
counters, and
You
you
just
need
end up
to
being very
remove them.
passive aggressive. Be like, you're the
Yep,
most smelly.
that's-
You get the stink counter first.
Yep. And it's like, hey, to remove this
no,
permanently, put deodorant on.
I think there's two ways you can go about it. One is the I don't like confrontation way, which you can adapt if you are like Zack and hate confrontation.
That's true.
And the other is the this needs to be solved for more than just myself way. If you don't like confrontation, I will recommend a product to you. I get no affiliate code for this. I'm just doing this out of the goodness of my heart.
Unless they want to sponsor us right now.
Vapo Rub.
Unless they want to sponsor us right now.
Yeah, we'll take a sponsor from Vicks. I don't care. I'll take
I'd
their
chill
money. Vicks
Vicks.
Vapo
Yeah.
Rub. Vicks Vapor Rub or just any hand sanitizer. Now, my wife used to be a CNA. Basically, if you look at like hospitals and assisted livings, they're the poor souls who are forced to do all the dirty work that the doctors and nurses won't do anymore. So,
Or don't have time
my
for
wife is or don't have time for it, right? CNAs are really just holding up a lot of healthcare communities.
They really are.
They experience a lot of bad smells. And so my wife's method of dealing with it, this was especially during the masking days of COVID, if you remember that horrible nightmare of a time.
Get your wife and let her explain it right now.
I would, but she's downstairs doing a bunch of baking for some activities, which I have to go do some baking afterwards as well. I'm so excited though. I'm making, you get me on a tangent because now I'm excited, but I'm going to make, I call them homemade Twix bars. It's
Ooh,
literally
yum,
just shortbread, caramel, and chocolate layered on top.
Nice.
It's so good.
Josh,
Anyway.
Shut up. We're talking about stinky magic pplayers right now, okay?
I know. Now,
Not delicious.
delicious
smelling
switch to something that
desserts.
smells so much worse. Yeah. Exactly. So
Vicks
my wife
Vapor Rub.
would use
Didn't remind
hand
you were right.
sanitizer. Yeah, hand sanitizer or Vicks Vapor Rub on the inside of one of these masks. And that way, that was basically all you were smelling all day long.
Yeah, I don't know if you use those when you have a cold, but it clears up your sinuses. That is all you can smell. 100%.
And I get it if you don't want to wear a mask. We all spent a long time wearing masks and we didn't want to. But if you don't want to do that, all you got to do is put some just right below your nose, right in your nostrils, just right at the base. Put a little Vicks Vapor Rub, put a little hand sanitizer, reapply as necessary, and that will just basically kill anything trying to smell bad hitting your nose.
I know it's not called the taint of the nose, but it's like the fritellum? Fertilum?
That's a horrible name for
Zack,
it.
are you talking
That's
about the place where your face physically melted together?
That's so bad.
Yeah. Right
That's
between
such a
your two
bad
nostrils.
name for it,
your
Zack.
two
Oh
nostrils.
my
It's the
gosh.
taint of the nose.
I mean, it's literally
like
the seam of your
fritellum,
face.
Fritellum? Somebody look it up right now. We're on our computer. Someone look it up. The fritellum? I think it's that.
Yeah.
Or it
But
starts with a
literally,
P. One of the
I
others.
learned an interesting fact about that about a month ago now, where it is literally the
philtrum.
spot where
Philtrum.
your
That was
face,
an F.
when it forms, that's like the middle seam. That's what's left of it, is that spot underneath
Yeah.
your nose.
Yep.
The taint is where
Yeah, it's
we're all
called the
come from, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, it's called
That's
the
where we all
philtrum.
started. Yeah, the philtrum.
Yeah.
That's the word I
Anyway.
was looking for. Please refer
The
to
more
it
you
as
know.
the philtrum, not the taint of the nose.
Not the taint of the face.
Anyway, yeah, so that's your option if you don't want confrontation. If you don't mind approaching a few people, I would first talk to a different employee because clearly one of them is not helpful. Talk to a different employee and just, calmly and, respectfully say, hey, I've been here a few times and every time I walk in, I just notice it smells bad, like body odor bad. Are you guys doing anything about this? Is there something that we can do to control this? And if the second employee says, oh, I don't smell anything, then you need to bring this up to a manager or possibly the owner and just let them know hey man, your employees don't seem to smell it. Maybe they're nose blind at this point, but this place reeks. It
Yeah.
smells of body odor. Either nobody in here has heard of deodorant or they used it last week.
I moved it around close to my armpit, and it was good enough, right?
Yeah, I like wafted it next to my armpit, and it's like LaCroix deodorant.
Yeah, I did the
It just
LaCroix
goes
of
next to it.
deodorants. Hints of watermelon.
Was that the episode title? Apply the LaCroix deodorant to the taint of your nose.
The taint of your nose. Apply deodorant to your taint.
Anyway, the store owner is going to be the person who with the most investment in they want a community of players to be at their store, because events create a lot of sales for them. When people are at the store, they buy product, whether it's magic product or just snacks. They buy things when they're at events. And if nobody comes to events because the store smells like the back end of a septic tank,
it smells like the taint of a nose. Show up. Like, what are you gonna do?
Exactly. Well, it smells like, maybe not the taint of a nose, but certainly a taint.
Just the taint.
Just the taint, not the nose taint.
The taint ratio in this episode is significantly higher than any previous episode.
I would say by basically infinite
Unfortunately,
percent.
it's gone so far. It's gone so far that I can't cut these, and so now I must make the apology to my father.
Most people don't know that you have a nose taint and a normal taint.
Yeah.
It's like a taint of your nose, but on your butt.
This is an unfortunate situation. I would if the store owner isn't even willing to do anything about it, you can then try to be sneaky and just leave those plug-in scent booster things in the back rooms and around the store, or you can just not go anymore. And I don't know, man, it sucks.
Or find a couple of people you enjoy playing with, and then find a new place to play at with them.
Yeah, you could also go a little bit nicer. Well, not necessarily nicer, but a little bit easier. And most dollar stores have air freshener pods that you can get, and basically all you do is crack them and then pull a thing up, and then they last for a few weeks. You can spend $5 and get a few of them and just hide them in different places. Hide them in the back corner behind for borrow game. Hide them in the Warhammer stuff that they've got in the corner of the shop for people who want to come in and use the terrain.
Yeah.
Hide them under the back corner table where people don't play very often.
And you could bring it up to the players too and just ask if any of the players have noticed it, because I'm sure you're not the only one.
Yeah, I was going to say,
and while some of them may have gone nose blind, but there may be other people who may be willing to try something out. And honestly, it could just be one or two bad actors, and that's the really unfortunate case. When it's just a handful of people, maybe about 4 to 5 people who just truly don't understand how much their own body odor can, how much smell their body can produce, and are not in the habit of controlling it.
Yeah.
Right? Because some people's bodies smell worse than others. That's something we all should have learned when we watched the puberty video when we were 10. Right? Some people's bodies will smell worse than others. Mine smells like roses. Other people's smells like toilet water. Or
nose taints.
Or nose
Throwback.
So
Throwback
you just have to sometimes you might just need to approach those people in particular and let them know, hey man, I want to be nice about this, but you smell really bad. I have noticed that there is a smell coming off of you. This is just to help. Hand them a free, a $1 deodorant stick, basically, and say, hey, can you, go put this on real quick. I think it'll really help.
You stinky.
Be as kind as you can, obviously. But yeah. Letting people know that they are the problem can sometimes help. Okay. This is a 100% delicate situation.
Right. 100%. What I would do if this was my game store that I went to regularly. I cannot say words. Regularly. Sure. This is what I would do. Somebody's going to be running the events you go to consistently. Tell them to make an announcement to everyone. Hey, overall, we've had a bit of smellier players. It's smelled a little bit in here. Just make sure, let people know that, hey, make sure you guys are putting deodorant on. Make sure you guys are doing what you can. And just make an announcement to everyone. So it's not singling out anybody necessarily. Yeah. It's just as a group, it's hey, everyone, just make sure you're up to date on your hygiene stuff. Put deodorant on before you come to the shop. Just do some basic hygiene stuff before coming in, just as a respect for other players and as the shop people and just other customers that come into the store. because like nobody wants to go to a stinky store.
Right.
I've heard of a good solution where the store owners and event organizers will tell the players right before they start for like a couple weeks, basically every event. They say, hey, we have begun receiving numerous complaints about body odor in the store. We don't want to single anybody out. We want this to be a place where everyone can feel comfortable, but that also includes everybody's noses. If you feel like you might be one of the people who are contributing to this, there are deodorant sticks in the bathroom in one of the drawers. Take one, apply it, and keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will restock as necessary. Do what you need to do to make it a manageable and a good experience for everyone around you, please.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Pro Souls does. Is a big thing that I would push for if you were a shop owner and you're trying to build a community where everybody wants to come. Hire some ladies, because ladies are going to be more apt to like call people out on that, or at least bring it up to you.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about dudes and just being okay with dude stink and funk all over the place, but like, women don't let that slide, man.
Yeah.
The male
If it smells
nose
bad,
taint
they'll walk in and be
really
like,
does.
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy the difference.
But at Pro Souls, their policy is, hey, we want to have everybody welcome here, and ladies are not going to want to come in and participate if it smells like a butt. If it smells like stinky armpits and butts, they're not going to want to come out and play. And so...
Yeah, we want everybody to play.
Right. If you think you might be smelly, you can go to the bathroom at some point. We got wet wipes, we got stuff in there, we got deodorant sticks. Take one, use it, take it home with you. We don't want them left in the drawer. These are not community deodorants, because that's what happens if you don't bring up the take it with you. People are going to use it and then put it back in the drawer.
And that's gross.
I think also part of it is they're worried that people are going to notice that they took one, like a bulge in their pocket. As somebody who's done it before, like grabbed a deodorant, because I'm like, oh, I was, working outside all day and I applied deodorant this morning, but I didn't realize that I'm kind of stinky now because it's worn off because I've been sweating so much. Go in the bathroom, wash the pits off a little bit, get the deodorant on there. It's not going to be the best. It's not going to be like fresh from a shower, but it's going to smell a whole lot better than stinky pits.
Nothing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Brought up this before, but that hand sanitizer, like for the masks, it's great for killing germs, and the stuff that makes your armpit stinky is germs. So if you think you're smelly, throw some hand sanitizer up in those pits. It might burn a little bit, but it'll make it not smelly anymore.
Yep.
Beauty is pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's a tough situation, Anonymous.
And we're not saying like there is some realism that we need to understand. Like I go outside, it's hot outside.
Yeah.
It is very hot right now. Like we're summer months.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Like people are going to be a little sweaty just because of the heat and because not everyone has AC in their cars. Like there's a reasonable amount of stench that people will have just because of being a human being. So being respectful about that of like, oh, this guy smells a little bit, but like it's hot outside. It's like 100 degrees. Maybe they don't have AC. They're sweating up a little bit. They put deodorant on. It's not doing enough.
Right.
It happens.
Yeah.
And so being a little bit lenient on that of like, some people will stink. Just that's how their bodies are. But as long as they're trying their best to be presentable for public.
Right. And understanding that this is a game for everybody. So we're going to have people who work hard jobs or are out in the sun all day long. So they might have a little bit more of a funk. They can't really be helped sometimes.
As long as they're trying their best. That is what matters most. And it doesn't sound like this store is.
Yeah, that store is not. Sorry, buddy. All
right. Let's go ahead and move on to our last question here. This is more of a crazy story I found, and it has a couple lessons we can learn from it. This is from the EDH subreddit from username, and they are an old internet head. I can already tell their username is Icon Has Galaxy.
Wow.
It's more like Icon Has Galaxy? Like the little cat.
Yeah.
No, that's literally what it is.
It is.
It's the cheeseburger
Icon Has
cat
Cheeseburger.
from, oh gosh,
Icon
like
has
2010?
No, that's like 2007, 2008. That was when I was still in high
Is
school.
it 2008?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when I was still in high school.
Guys, are we old? Are we old?
Well, I mean, I know I am, so that's something.
Yeah, we don't. Nate's like what, 84 now?
Oh, okay, sweet, going up more.
His pet dinosaur, you know, he's.
I am the dinosaur.
All right. So from user Icon Has Galaxy, they posted, "I got my first insane person game today.
That
And the
could go
post
many
says,
ways.
oh, it goes bad. Trust me, I've already read this. Hello, everyone. I am a
Hello.
new Commander player. I played my 7th game today. My first of 3 games were 1v1 with a friend who explained stuff to me. I played a 4-player game today with my brand new Hosts of Mordor Precon. I love Tolkien, so I had to get it. I also changed 2 cards in it, one of which is Anger, because I needed it for my Ishin/Zergo deck, and I heard this Precon is quite strong, so I thought it would lower the power. Anyway, we're a good 40 minutes into the game, and it's all fun, but one guy's acting a bit weird, but since nobody else is reacting to it, I assume it's just me and ignored it. But then I played Shelob, Dreadweaver.
Hell
I will stop
yeah.
here and mention that this is a spider card.
Yeah.
It's got some stuff on it, but what's important is this is a big spider. The guy rushes away from the table and starts screaming to put it away. I'm confused and ask what's going on, and he is screaming at me to get that effing spider off the table. So I turned it upside down and say, I'm sorry, I didn't know he has arachnophobia, and I will keep it hidden. He says, no, you have to put it away in your deck box. I don't want it anywhere near me. So I, still stunned, take it and put it away and ask for a card draw then to make it fair. No, you can't.
Nope.
I'm like, okay, fine,
Card
whatever.
stays.
Though I was a bit annoyed. I was punished for something I don't think was my fault. So I untapped my lands I used to pay for Shelob, and they're like, whoa, what are you doing? So I explain I'm returning the mana cost of the Shelob. At this point, I don't really want to play, but I don't want to mess up the LGS for myself, so I try to hold it in. The Shelob hater goes, we're just going to call him Samwise. Samwise goes, you already used that mana. So I say I concede then and start packing up. The 8-leg despiser tries to convince me to finish the
that's
game,
good.
but I point out that I feel cheated because I was required to remove a permanent and couldn't either draw or regain the mana because of his fear, and his response was, it's not his fault, he's afraid. I finished packing up, but I was angry. So I usually put my Sauron, Lord of the Ring, the Enemy, the Lidless Eye, the Dark Lord, the Deceiver, you get who, my favorite villain, as the first card in my see-through deck box. But my deck box is see-through, and Shelob is already there, already in the front, so I jam my deck behind her and slam my deck box spider first into his direction as I pack my mat, tokens, dice, etc. He runs away, I pack up and go, oh, sorry, and pack the deck box last. But I wasn't sorry. I was happy with my devious plan. The spider detester returns to the table and goes on to play with his mates, and I go to thank the shop owner for the time and get to leave. He says, I was reading what I wrote like 2 or 3 times and was wondering if I should even post it because it sounds like a bad joke, honestly.
That is
Wow.
crazy.
This is nuts.
I
This is
Yeah.
the most egregious example of somebody who's just throwing a fit I have ever seen. That's just wild.
I would have, personally for me, I'm going to jump in right away. I would have said you get one of the 3 options. I draw a card, I get my mana back, or the spider stays.
Yeah.
And you guys can choose.
Oh,
Actually, I would probably go, hey, either I get to keep the spider or I get to untap and draw a card. One of those 2.
Yeah.
You guys choose.
Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna let them like give me either half of it, right?
Yeah.
I really feel like it's so ridiculous, man. Like, I get arachnophobia is real, but the fact that you're looking at a cardboard picture of a spider and demanding I take a penalty in the game because you can't handle a cardboard picture
Wrong
of a spider
answer.
in a fantasy game.
Wrong answer. This is what you do, boys. You are now terrified of every single card the opponents have. You force them to remove every card in their deck because you are terrified of them. They set the precedent. They did this to themselves. They set the standard. You're playing to their standards. You are terrified of every card played.
I'm going to
force
play
them to get rid of it.
normal man.
I
Scary.
played Miss Bumbleflower. No, I hate bunnies.
You're playing your Sharknado themed deck. Actually, I have Salacophobia, which means you can't play that because
I'm actually terrified of
sharks.
wind.
Yep.
Sorry. Oh, this card has a green
I'm scared
mana.
of tornadoes,
I'm terrified
and
of
I'm
the
scared
color
of
green.
sharks.
Terrified of the color green.
I'm-
You can't play green cards.
When I was a kid, I played this knockoff D&D with my cousins, and we all created characters, and I was like 13, 14, so I created what I thought was the coolest character imaginable. He was an Atlantean who could shapeshift into one animal, like one aquatic animal at will. And so of course I chose a great white shark, because why wouldn't I choose a great white shark?
Yeah. Obvious answer.
We had another player whose thing was that she could teleport every now and again. And we got in a fight along this racetrack, and there was a big wizard at the top of his tower. So we decided that the best way to end the fight was for the teleport lady to pick me up in shark form, teleport above the wizard's head about 60 feet, and drop me mouth first on this wizard, and just eat him alive.
Nice.
It worked. And we
Amazing.
immediately Googled that this would potentially be put under aerosolactophobia or the fear of falling sharks.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm just sitting here thinking you looked up the fear of sharks for our meme namesake.
Sharkapella.
No.
Yeah.
I've had that in the back of my head for like 15 years at this point. Aerosolactophobia is stuck in my head.
Okay.
It's one of those things that you'll never forget. You don't know why.
Yeah.
But your brain's just like, this is the thing we need to know the most forever.
This is a pillar we are building memories around. If you remove this, you lose everything.
All of your memories are gone. And you're just like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess I'll remember this for the rest of my life.
I think if we're being kind about the situation, it is okay that this guy is clearly uncomfortable with spiders.
There's nothing wrong with
we
that.
can, if we
Absolutely.
can move past that, we get that you're afraid of spiders. It's okay for you to be afraid of spiders, and it is okay for me to be accommodating if the fear is truly like paralyzing. For me to be like, I'm so sorry, I won't play this card. It is not okay for you to demand that not only is that card removed from the table, but you also don't get to refund the mana and you don't get to draw another card.
Yeah, your gameplay is being detrimented because
a free
of it.
removal spell. Yeah, you don't get a free removal spell that says, I'm afraid of that creature, therefore it dies.
Robert,
That's not
I do
what
not like
happens.
that rock. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you don't get to do that.
I do not
Robert.
like that spider. Remove it.
The rest of the table not backing you up too is wild to me, because if I was at this table, right, and one player plays a spider card, another player flips out and says, please get that away, I would be like, oh, well, that's fine, put it away, draw a new card, untap your lands,
Yeah.
it's fine, we'll just pretend like that card was
Or
never
just
there,
put
in the
another
bottom
card
of your
over top
graveyard
of
or in your
it
deck
so it's
box,
covered and
Yeah,
the text is still there.
that's
Like,
also my thing. I'm like, you could just put a sleeved card over the
Post-it
art.
note.
Yeah.
Put a post-it note on top of it that's just like a duck with a birthday hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If you like this player and you like playing with them, then be like, oh, okay, cool. Anytime like I'm playing with you, I just have like a little smiley face sticker that I put on the sleeve in front of the spider art.
Yep.
Like that's a doable thing. I'm like, sorry, I didn't mean to like terrify you with a card that everybody could play. Like that seems like
Yeah,
something
but
you
there's
should
ways
be
around
aware
this.
of. Yeah.
There's ways around it where either the card stays in play or we act like the card never happened.
Yeah, but demanding him to do nothing, like you just lose everything.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
That's when you go
that is...
scorched earth and you just say,
Yeah.
okay, everybody's permanents are now terrifying. Get rid of them.
Yeah,
And
now
that's-
I'm actually
and
going
that
to come
kinda
back
gets-
next week with stickers with spiders on them, and I'm
Yeah,
going to put them
yeah.
on all your
No,
cards.
I'm gonna
All my cards are now
build
spider art.
a green-black Shelob deck, and then we're gonna just play a
Yep.
full spider Kindred, and you're just gonna have to deal with it.
I'm going to literally eat your cards because they turn into food tokens. No.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Icon has
If
Galaxy.
you're competitive, that's free player removal. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
if he refuses to
Yeah,
play
dude.
against a card called Shelob, like, that's a pretty easy way to win the game.
Just put Deadly Recluse in all of your green decks, and then it becomes a 2-mana. This player loses the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, cool, easy. Easy peasy.
That's also the wild part to it. It's like the buddies must all be his buddies in order to be like, yeah, that's fine.
Like, this
'Cause
is
they're-
reasonable.
Yeah.
They're in on it, and they're like, we're not playing any spider cards.
Even still, man, that's just... It sucks.
If your fear is that debilitating that you literally like sprint away, like I could understand getting like a shock of like, oh, whoa, what is
Spider.
that? Like, understandable. Yeah, like, oh, I didn't expect spider. Like, okay, but it's a piece of cardboard. You know it's a piece of cardboard after the fact. You're completely aware it's not a real spider. And if that like image of a spider gets you that worked up, you need to work on something. Like you need to go to therapy and like work on
Yeah.
that because that's
I
a
would-
little bit too
Yeah.
far of a.
I was gonna bring
fear.
up. I'm pretty sure if completely Manabonded endorsed, go to therapy. Like
No,
Yeah,
100%.
of some
absolutely.
kind
Go
of
to therapy,
thing.
dude.
Even if you don't have a debilitating fear of spiders, you should probably go to therapy. But you know,
Yeah, why not? While
if you're
at
not a
it.
debilitating fear, therapy's probably good for you. Maybe spend a little bit less money on cardboard and a little bit of money on therapy for a little bit,
Self-improvement.
and then come back to the
Self-improvement, yeah.
game and enjoy more with people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And everybody knows spiders are attracted to your nose taint. So make sure to put vapor rub to protect yourself.
Why is that a sentence I had to hear?
You know who I am,
now
Joshua.
what you need to
you
do-
know who I am.
Now what you need to do is just bleep out and remember, and then just bleep it out. Just like bleep that whole sentence out and then come back. Why is that sentence I need to hear? That'll be great.
That'd be evil.
There's an escalation in the war approaching. A war that has been going on for generations. The war for our reputation as a community, our hobby, and our nostrils. The enemy is now rallying behind a new leader. A leader who is altering the very battlefield we've been fighting on. This new skunk has emboldened their putrid cause. Has served as a rallying cry. They are calling it an endorsement from the wizards upon the coast. I say this is enough. Our noses have known enough pain, and that is why I, Beza, the Bounding Spring, have created Bounding Spring Deodorant, the new deodorant that has a 24-hour lifespan. Breaks down chemical compounds that assault the nose on a molecular level, stopping you from ever smelling so abhorrent you lose 2 life. Bounding Spring Deodorant comes in many forms: stick, spray, cream, or gel. We are also happy to introduce the new Bounding Spring-Loaded Deodorizing Ranged Mist. Load a mist around into the ranged applicator and apply to the nearest foul body. Works at up to 15 yards. Try the new Bounding Spring Deodorant today. The war for our noses depends on it.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our end step now, where we're just going to talk about things we're enjoying outside of the realm of magic. Anybody got anything they've been up to that they want to share?
I got something. It's not really something that I've necessarily been up to, but last Wednesday...
Nathaniel, anything about your life is very important, and I love to hear about it.
Oh,
so
thank you very much.
share.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I went and saw Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie, last Wednesday.
Oh, same.
And
Nice.
Zach, have you seen it yet?
I have not, but that's okay.
Okay.
I know,
think
like the
this
big
is...
twist at the end. It's been spoiled for me, but
Oh, that's unfortunate. It's...
I mean, it was not very much of a spoiler. I kind of
No. I have to say, I think this one is my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's
Out of all the
It's really
Spider-Mans?
good.
out of every
I
single
like the tone shift.
every single live action Spider-Man movie. I think this is my favorite.
Yeah. We
Ooh,
cannot
the
compare
Spider-
apples
The
and
Spider-Verse
oranges.
movies are insanely good, and I think those are still taking the cake for me because they do a lot of things in those movies, and this one is very much focused on one Spider-Man, where those have like 3 or 4 that they do stuff with.
And there's so much more you can do with animation versus
Yes.
live action. Like, it's just so much
Exactly.
more
Yes.
art direction that you can do. So it's like completely different.
Right. I really love the fact that I don't think they brought it up a little bit in the promotional work for this thing, but a lot of the stuff they have early on, so very minor spoilers, they talk about people Spider-Man has fought and he beat. And each of those scenes where they talk about the people and they have them in them, they recreate panels from the comic.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
Oh, I remember hearing about that, yeah.
and he actually does the poses for the Spider-Man things. Like almost
Tom
all
Holland
of
does?
those. Yeah, almost all of those. Tom Holland has done the actual like pose in the scene that would be on the comic book cover. It is absolutely wild. That man is so talented and flexible. Great having a background in gymnastics for being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like that
No, I think
prepared him
he's a
so
very
well.
good Spider-Man. I
Yes.
think he's a very good Spider-Man.
But I love
think
it.
it was a good movie, I will say. It was way better than the Odyssey.
That's for sure.
I think the farther away I get from it, the more I'm like, I did not like Nolan's Odyssey.
I thought it was
do not
good.
think it
I
was
enjoyed
good.
it for what it is. I don't think it's like a
Right.
masterpiece like people are saying, but I think it was
I
good.
don't think it was that good, really. I think rewatching it,
I enjoyed the Odyssey for like the visual spectacle of it. I didn't really enjoy the story even walking out of it. I don't like the ending where he's like, I'm going to go into exile. I don't like the...
Wow, spoilers.
Okay.
Whoa, yeah. I haven't read the Odyssey, okay? Don't spoil it.
Well, we can cut this part out. We can stop where I say I don't really like the Odyssey.
It's spoilers for a 6,000-year-old story. We're good. We're good.
Spoilers for the Bible.
Yeah, Jesus dies. Sorry.
There's a random thing I'll talk about later for the
Redemption?
Yes. No. With the Odyssey, I don't like a lot of the changes he made, specifically the fact where they're like, we broke this rule, and now basically Odin is jumping
Zeus.
mythologies. Now Zeus is mad at us because we broke this pact. And I'm sitting here like, guys, do you not remember why you went to Troy in the first place? Right. Literally, a prince of Troy showed up at your house, took advantage of your guest rights, stole a guy's wife, and ran away with her. Steal is like not the right turn. Obviously, she went of her own accord, or that's the idea
somewhat
of it.
Of her own accord.
Yeah, at least somewhat of her own accord. But this guy came into his kingdom and ran off with this guy's wife.
Yeah,
and so literally they broke the guest right there. And the fact that in the Odyssey movie they're like, we broke it using the Trojan horse. I'm like, buddy, it was already broken before you guys even left.
Yeah, it was like,
and the fact that they were invited home and like brought in and be like, yeah, we're all good, guys. This is great. Means that Troy didn't care because, the king of Troy could have been like, no, send her home, turn around, take her back right now. Hopefully we won't get killed. So.
I did dislike how much they didn't add in that were such iconic moments to the Odyssey of like the nobody scene of Odysseus. Like it's such a big part of Odysseus' character.
Yeah.
Like how we
and
get
the
to
reason
know
why
him.
it takes him so long.
Yeah, and like why
is that he upset
has mistakes.
Poseidon.
Yeah, but like it also shows his cunningness and like he's clever and he's smart, and like that's why Athena blesses him. It's because he's a smart person. He knows what he's doing, and then obviously he's a human and makes mistakes, which we all do.
Right.
But like the nobody scene with the Cyclops is just such an iconic moment in the Odyssey that not having it felt so jarring of the show.
Completely relegating the land of the Lotus Eaters to just a flower he uses to veg out. So Cersei doesn't have, not Cersei, Calypso. Yeah, just tells him eat the flower so you don't go home.
Yeah. So you don't remember.
Okay. The longer away I get from this movie, the more I'm like, this was a bad movie. Well, it's not a bad movie. I also saw Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah.
I also saw Spider-Man. Great movie. I loved the dynamic between Spider-Man and the Punisher. I thought that was cute.
I did see memes about the Punisher of like, I loved how the Punisher was in this movie. I can't wait to watch this show with my kids.
Oh, geez, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Spider-Man was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. Go watch it if you haven't seen it yet.
On my little side tangent thing about talking about spoilers like for the Bible, I actually saw a little comedy bit. I'll see if I can find it again, but I might not be able to. There's literally this guy, they're like, oh yeah, he died. And this guy goes, what? Jesus died? He's like, I'm only on season 2. What do you mean? And he's like, oh.
Don't worry, he comes back in season 3.
You know he comes back. He's like, what? He comes back to life? What? This is crazy.
I love that.
This is a twist.
It's like the what is it? Is it Matilda, where she's just like reading a bunch of books and she gets to the Bible and she's like, I really like this Jesus character. I hope nothing bad happens to him. Turns the page. Oh darn.
Oh darn. I love Matilda.
Dude, that movie is so good.
I wish we had a remake.
I don't know if that's from Matilda, but Matilda's great. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for us this week. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with us. We want to let you know that if you have questions you want answered, like Mormonator, like the anonymous person today, and like I Can Has Galaxy, you can send those questions over to us at manabonded@gmail.com. We will also take them into one of our DMs if you're just quickly remembering that you had a question, but you don't want to, pull up your Gmail account. We get it. Just send them over to us. The more questions we have, the better this podcast gets, and the more fun we all get to have.
Yeah,
so,
please send us your questions.
Pigeon. I do accept carrier pigeon as long as you provide the pigeon. And the question. So
it's true.
True.
If you like the music at the start and at the middle-ish of the episode where we tricked you out, you can listen to that music from Steve Brown. You can find his music at stevebrownsongs.com.
Yeah.
If you like
You
the
have
art,
to put it in there.
yeah, now he has to put it in
I know.
at that one spot.
It wasn't even in the middle. It was like 5
it was at the
minutes.
beginning.
into
That's whatever.
recording.
Yeah, but now you're committed to it.
I know. I'll do it.
If you like the art that you've been occasionally seeing as you look at your screen to see how much longer's in our episode and how much more you get to enjoy of our lovely voices, you can find art like that and maybe get some commission of your own from Shadow Aclopex. His art will be linked in the description.
Speaking of links, we do have a link tree that will make it easier for you to find all of our social media links all in one place. It'll take you to our YouTube, it'll take you to our Twitter, it'll take you to our Instagram. And speaking of YouTube, you know it's going to be up on there soon. Actually, I think it's up now.
It should be. I was going to bring this up if you didn't.
Yeah, Nate's episode with MTG Unraveled.
Unraveled. We are going
I'm
to be posting about it on our socials. I've got a fun picture we took with him, and we'll get that up.
You're on the thumbnail!
Is it up already?
Yeah, you're on a thumbnail.
Oh, man.
It wasn't up on Spotify earlier. I was like trying to listen to it
30
at
minutes
work.
ago.
Oh, hey.
Oh, there
there's
it
the
is.
picture. That's the picture I was going
That's
to post. It's me.
Amazing.
We talk about, in this episode with them, we talk about cards that are, hold on, wait a minute. Can I read that? And
Can I read that again, please?
minor spoilers.
I want to compare the the picture of me on that couch versus you on that couch because it is so
The size difference.
painfully clear that I am like barely hitting 5'4" here, and Nate's like pushing 6.
Yeah, I am
A bit of a height
technically
difference.
technically I am 5'10" and a half. There will be a lot of me just kind of sitting there looking at my phone for stuff, and I'm not very good at looking at the camera. That is one thing you'll notice in this episode. But it was a lot of fun
That's
hanging
okay.
out with them.
I'm gonna do the audio, so I won't know any of it.
Yeah. So
There you go. There you go.
but yeah, minor spoilers. My card definitely had the most text, but mine was not the most confusing. Ryan beat me out on that one hard. She had a deep cut that was intense for how crazy it is to be like, wait, tell me how that works again.
Yeah.
And if you have not checked out MTG Unraveled, please do. They are
They
Ryan
are
and Rafa
great.
over there are fantastic. They are
Absolutely.
phenomenal to work with, fun to play with, fun to hang out with.
Yeah,
Like 10 out of 10 people.
They're so
I'm
cool.
going to
Check out their
speak.
content.
I'm going to speak for the whole Manabonded crew here. We love those guys. Those guys are great.
We absolutely do. Friends of the show.
Yes.
We will, we've got one more crossover episode coming when we sort of organize
That's
things
me.
up. But
At least.
it'll be,
Yeah.
at least
one
we
more.
may do more in the future. Maybe we'll have them back at some point. But
I've been wanting to do like a Jeopardy kind of thing.
Ooh,
and
they
I can
could
hold
be.
them
It
for
could be
the
You know
great
what?
to
Because I
have
can host
them
and then
on.
you two versus those two, or like we can do that. So
We could. We could do.
yeah.
We could definitely do some kind of Jeopardy thing with like 4 people.
that's in my mind. That's in my mind.
yeah,
That'd be great.
absolutely. If you want to let us know how you felt about the episode, how you feel about future collaborations with MTG Unraveled and more, leave us a review in the app you're listening to. And if you're not, like, comment, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, give us a follow everywhere. It really helps us to see that engagement and where you're at, so we can make sure that that content is continuing to flow to there. Thank you all so much for listening today, and we will see you next week.
And remember, kids, please keep your nose taint clean so you can smell the best. Have a good night.
That was one take, which I did fuck up a word in there, but that was in one take, and I feel pretty good about it, so I'm just gonna leave it.